I'm at Fox Studios in Sydney, Australia, but that is only where I currently am temporally on planet Earth, because in the grand scheme of things, I'm about to visit an alien planet. Inside this corridor is actually part of the universe created by Ridley Scott for Alien Covenant, and I'm about to...
Hey, Cowboy 21. Oh, look at that. I got my little monitor all screwed up here. I'll fix this up. Screwed everything up. There we go. Howdy, everyone. Cowboy's probably gone already, but my mic wasn't all set up, and I had to restart the stream to make it active. Looks like everything's all set up. I got myself a brownie. I got myself a drink. We got ourselves some chat. We got ourselves a nice model that's over there. But if it's actually... the direction's all different when you go into camera. It's all flipped around. Make sure this is over here a little. Oh. Oops. Nope. Okay. Hey, Pat, how are you doing tonight? Oh, it makes me give a skinny head. Hello, Ron, New Haven Rails. Yes, I am burnt as all get out. We had a bit of the meetup here on the weekend, and I pulled a bunch of the models out from the rafters. Not all the models. You know, once I started pulling them down, I figured out that they weren't all that wasn't enough room for everything. So that was a problem. However, as you can see in the picture, we've got South River Model Works, Streeters in Clearbrook, which is one of my first kits that I built long ago. Hello, Caroline. It was wonderful talking to you today. Let's stop this broadcast. Okay. Just making sure my Twitch is all set up over here. You see, I broadcast to 3 places. I got Twitch, Just Another Scale Modeler. We've got Ron Perry on YouTube and Just Another Scale Modeler on YouTube. And the reason we do that is because we want to cater to all age groups. And in the demographics, in the analytics of my streams or my video content delivery systems, you know, Just Another Scale Modeler on YouTube is 65 plus. Ron Perry is like 18 to 45. And over on Twitch, I don't know what it is, but these are their own people, and we just brought them in for a ride because we could. So yeah. Hey, and you know what, Ron? CB also got some weld bond glue, and I got a good review from him too. So the challenge is still up. If somebody's got something better than weld bond glue at the price, like I know that canopy glue is pretty darn good as compared to weld bond glue, but you know the bottles, they just don't add up, and that's the part that really doesn't make it. Like if we're rich, fine, you got unlimited budget, fine, go out and do that stuff. But if you're not rich, get the weld bond because it's the best darn stuff you can get. So New Haven Rail said, okay, so I worked with the weld bond glue, repaired an Ambroid car, very impressed, fast setup. Exactly, my friend. My studio smells like spray paint. Hi, Ron. Hey, you know what? Yeah, I go outside. You know, there's one night I was sitting here spray painting stuff. Actually, I was using the airbrush, and I was making video. And then I went back after the fact, and there's the camera right there. We got another camera here. Just making sure where everything is. It started getting a white fog over everything. These are the things you learn. So welcome. Minutes on the sun. Tell me your real name so I can call you by a name. And if you're from somewhere special, like Caroline K, who's from the UK, I found out offline. I got my ways. You know, tell us where you're from. If you've never said where you're from before, or if I forget, I kind of try to keep up on this. I'm going to get a map one day. One of these days I'm going to take the Patreon bucks and buy a map and start putting pegs all over the place over it. So I hope everyone has checked out the Joshua Smith video and last week's Hank Cheng video. Those are two amazing modelers that I think you should really check out. You know, watching a large scale modeler build their stuff and bring it down into small scale, you know, that's an amazing... Oh, well, no, like, what did I just say? I don't know what I just said. I got a pint. This will fix it. So, when you look at a large-scale model and you see the possibilities, it becomes easier in your mind to kind of think to yourself, well, maybe I could do that in HO scale or O scale or whatever scale you're talking about, right? And, you know, it's kind of nice to see how the scale proportions work in large scale, because when you try to do it in a smaller scale, as long as you get the proportions looking right, it doesn't have to be the exact size in scale. It doesn't have to be prototypical. As long as it's proportional. And that's the importance. So yeah, thank you, Patrick. Yeah, it was such a great time meeting Joshua. It was great. Hi, Billy. Jonathan from Bakersfield, California. California knows how to party. I know you do. So thanks for stopping by, Jonathan. You know what? Your jokes sometimes go right over my head, Billy. I don't know. I'm burnt like crazy. Spent 4 hours rail fanning trains with some guys at the meetup. That was a ton of fun. And it was fun having the meetup because, well, I was scared. I was really scared before it happened because I didn't know. Like the week before, I went over to Claire Gilbert's in the Sylvan scale models, and you know how your mind gets away with you, you know, and it's not like I think that I would have an event that's anywhere near as populated as Claire's was. But the thing is that in my mind, I'm thinking to myself, oh my gosh, because Claire had 100 people show up. 100 people. And like 10% of that would have blown me away. So we had two people stop by, Peter and Dave Honstein. And Patrick had an event to go to. Claire had a car show, but he stopped by earlier and said hi, and before he went to the car show because it was just down the block. So, you know, that was good enough for me. You know, it was the first time, and you know, I thank my lucky stars that it was just like that and not some crazy event that, you know, you never know. It's just like Josh said on that interview. You know, he put out a little picture on Instagram. Yeah, you can get some people to take some pictures of this, and then a famous radio announcer says on the radio, if you're in Hong Kong, take a picture of this electronics store, and 100 people goes and takes photos of it. You gotta be careful with the internet. You never know what's gonna happen. So yeah, let's keep on the questions here. Awesome, Jonathan. You know, I'm gonna pull out a model in a few minutes here. Actually, you know what? I'll go pull it out right. Let's finish the questions up. You don't realize how strong something smells until you go out and come back in your room. Polyester resin stinks to high heaven. Ain't that the truth, Caroline? Oh my goodness, it does. And the thing is it's a subtle smell. But once it starts, once that chemical reaction starts happening and it heats up, it kind of gets a little bit more smelly. No sunstroke. It was yesterday. But we'll see what we can do about making it look like it is. So I've got something that I pulled out for the meetup that is kind of appropriate to the whole Joshua Smith scene. And and I'm not going to change the camera, so you see what size of model that's sitting there. The Streeters in Clearbook is sitting on the chair there. We're probably going to have to move the camera once we get the other model on. But I'm going to finish this model after a few years of letting it sit in the rafters. So let me go get it. Well, first we got to put this one up in its home. And put this one here. There's not a lot of lights there. I'm sorry. But this here is a model of a F-scale WX tower that I created years and years and years ago. So I'm going to tear off the chimney, I think. Like, this is a really, really old model. And the thing is that it went outside to be a part of something. I can't remember exactly what it was. If it was I was doing some garden railroad stuff for a guy at one time, but I don't seem to believe that this model was part of it. But this model was a part of learning how to build large-scale models. And this right here is actually how I found out that weld bond glue is waterproof, because the glue that I used on this way back in 2008, I think it wasn't really waterproof. And once it all got wet, it just died on me. So it's all glued to the thing, but we're going to put an interior in there. We're going to figure out what kind of interior, what needs to be put on the inside of it. But I got a large scale model. I can play with the big boys. So that's going to be fun. I haven't used any air dry clays, but I have had them suggested to me a number of times. My friend Mark Williams suggested me using them at one time. I'll have to look that up, Jonathan. Maybe give me a tip on what to look for the keywords in the title. So like, is it called flour air dry clay or what? And then flour, is that gonna get eaten by bugs after a while? I guess it's an experiment waiting to happen. Hey, train room guy in Michigan. Right on. Thanks for stopping by. Oh, Billy. Streeters in Clearbrook is, it's destined to go to the model gallery. So, you guys have heard me say it a couple of times. I want to, my dream and goal in life to do in the next 10 or 20 years, I don't know. Like if I was able to do it in the next 5 years, I'd be game. But I don't think I'll be able to afford it. But the thing is in the next 10 or 20 years, I want to be able to create a, what the new age model shop should be, in my mind. And, the real basis of it was that originally I wanted to create a club that nobody could kick me out of, because that's an issue. And if I spend so much time building these models, I don't want anybody kicking me out of the club that they're going to keep my modules there, or some big public fight's going to happen. So it's got to be, a store that I own. And so the second thing is I'm really keen on what they do, what these people are doing at games workshops with D&D and tabletop gaming and stuff like that. And those are the kind of things that would happen in the middle of the room, right? And around the outside of the room would be a beautiful fine scale layout, hopefully mostly done by me, or if there's a bunch of guys who wanted to come in and help, that would be great too. Like, my mind's pretty much an open book. I'm not really have it all planned out yet. Let's be honest. You mean Lionel Train, right? Train guy? I hope you mean the Lionel Train. I don't want to talk about the other one. The other Lionel. So yeah. My whole idea is that I want to have a train shop or a model gallery that if the game shop workshop guys who are doing tabletop gaming were there, you would put the tables in the middle. If the guys wanted to come and learn modeling or build models together, use the high-end tools and supplies and stuff like that, they could come in and build models in the middle of the room. If they wanted to come in and run trains, they could do it on the fine scale railroad. And if we really hooked up with people like Josh Smith, or Hank Chen, we could pull the tables to the side and have an art gallery there. So that's what my dream is, and that's kind of why, I'm kind of doing all this thing with Helican Focus and Patreon and stuff like that. It's like, I kind of want to start doing my modeling at a net benefit, like a net, so that, it doesn't cost me money at every turn, that I can start putting money away to do something like that and kind of change the world of modeling. Because I'm kind of sick and tired of the whole vertical of model railroading. I know that, we're here, most of us are here together because of model railroading and stuff, and we love trains and stuff like that. But I feel that the hobby intrudes into our interests a little bit more than our interests intrude into the hobby. So the thing is I want to turn the tables so that, it's open. So that if somebody wants to paint up a robot in the middle of the room, there are no problems. Everybody's going to be real interested and kind of keen to share techniques. wow, that'd be crazy, wouldn't it? You know? And the thing is when you open up modeling from model railroading to scale modeling, you open it up to all age groups, all sexes, everybody. You know, you've got women, you've got men, you've got every, all the in-betweens. That's happened, so we'll give them credit. You know, so that's what it's all about, you know, in my mind. And that's what my dream is. And that's what I'm doing with this channel and with Patreon and stuff like that. If you're supporting me and stuff like that, you're not supporting some lone wolf who's taking all this money and all these models and hoarding it to myself. I'm here to share my hobby. I'm an open book. I'm here to share the best tips out there. I'm here to stand up for the best tips. You know, when these people who are in cahoots with each other, all the old boys and stuff like that, they start telling you techniques that cost a little bit more but do the same thing as the cheap product that I share. You know, I'm not going to go follow their route. I'm not going to be that guy. I don't want to lie, you know, just to make somebody feel happy, you know. So, you know, that doesn't make me a lot of friends in many cases, but the thing is that it's all about truth, and it's all about your hobby and your passion and what you're interested in. And I don't want to take away some of the things that you're interested in because I like trains, you know, like, holy crap, look what's up, you know. Let's be honest. I got into this hobby and I looked at the Holmes layout in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. It was the first layout. Like, I seen a layout when I was a child with my father, but I really don't remember much about that. But the thing is when I went to the Holmes layout when I was like 30 years old in Hamilton, Ontario, it was actually in Stony Creek at that time. I was like blown away by it, right? And I had this idea in my head, oh my God, I want to have a train layout. But really, I was interested in all those structures and how they historically represented those structures to the point where I recognized them on the layout. I loved that, you know. And by not going after a model railroad, the trains, the electronics, all the above, you know, a train costs $300. The electronics DCC system could cost you $200 to $500. The track for this system, you know, it's like $100 for like 15 feet. You know, what's 15 feet for a railroad, you know? So right there we've got like almost $1,500, and we don't even have any scenery or buildings on the layout, you know. And I talk about these really nice buildings, and they're $200-300. Man, the costs are just adding up. Like, well, it's great that Warren Buffett's a model railroader in this hobby. He can afford it. Let's be honest. Let's not beat around the bush around this, eh? So, I don't know. That's my diatribe for tonight. I'm going to do this again to see if it'll change it. I'm drinking my home brew tonight. I'm sorry if you're not a drinker. This is my first beer. This is not even my first beer. It was the last of the bottle in the fridge. So we're just going to finish that before we open up a new one. I'm not a big drinker. I get drunk too quick. It goes to my head. So let's get back into this. Yes, Billy, just like a makerspace. Just like a makerspace. Yeah, okay, Jonathan, I'm into that. If we seal it up and the critters leave it alone. See, I'm just worried about ants. Those buggers, once they start getting a smell for something, they're terrible. I'd poison the hell out of them. I had some big ants at the back door here, like the great big ones. So we put down the ant traps. It was there for 5 days. Those ants were still there. I was like, oh my gosh. So I opened up the ant traps. I pulled it's actually peanut butter in the one. I was like, what? This is a trap. But anyways, I took the peanut butter, I shoved it right in the thing. You eat this bugger. It still really didn't work all that well. So then I went and took the peanut butter, I mixed it with vegetable oil, make poison juice, and poured it down the thing. It still didn't work. I ended up putting salt down. And the problem I have now is that the ants went from this big to this big. Well, I don't know what that means. I'm not that kind of guy. Don't know all about the bugs. Oh wow. Very good tips there, Jonathan. You're thanks for coming on the call. I love it. DAS modeling clay, that's what I was suggested on using. Billy, you're right. Coffee stains on my shirt. I had a comment the other day. Do you ever change your shirt? Because I always have a Modelers Guild shirt on. You know, the thing is, back in 2010, I bought a whole bunch of these shirts. And the one thing that hasn't changed between 2010 and now is shipping these shirts to people is expensive. And it's insanely expensive. Like, if I sold these shirts at $15, it'd be an easy $15 more just to ship the buggers to you. You know, and like, I don't want to be a nickel and dime kind of guy, you know, getting people pissed off at me thinking that I'm trying to get rich off of the pennies. Oh, we live in a ridiculous world. But yeah, so I've got a whole bunch of these shirts that I purchased a long time ago from Vista Print. And I just clean them up. I put on a new one every day when I start working. Like, I don't wear these going out, but when I'm about to stream, I throw them on, or if I'm going to an event, I throw it on. So there you have it. Yeah, Caroline, trade secrets. You're right. And it was refreshing to talk to Joshua Smith, because, you know, I was kind of alluding to the fact that possibly he might not want to share some of these techniques, and he's like, no, stop that. Just ask. You pull it out of me. You know, I think I cut that out of the video where he kind of got impatient with me. But, you know, some people are like that, specifically the NMRA people. You know, sometimes they're like, or not the NMRA people, I misspoke. Smack. These people who do weathering cars. There's a bunch of those people who hold their techniques close to the belt, and it's a shame. It really is a shame. And the thing is that one of my interviews coming up real soon is going to be with one of the best of those car weathering people, Gary Christensen. And you know what? He doesn't do it any way those guys do. And it's probably because those guys didn't share their techniques with him. But the thing is he does it with real world supplies that you probably have in your toolbox, you know, with just a wee bit of extra, you know, doodads, the aim powders and stuff like that. But the thing is that, you know, you learn from these masters, and you get those products into your toolbox. You know, things become different. Possibilities, like impossibilities, become possibilities. You know, you try these things out and let her rip. Jonathan saying the clay itself will mold pretty fast if you don't let it dry quick, so it doesn't grow any aliens. Yes, carpenter ants. Mash them in. Patrick says those huge carpenter ants, great for weathering your model. Could be another secret. You put it in the pestle, whatever that thing is. I don't know. A little bit of linseed oil. We'll see. Next weekend. That's what he said. I get in trouble if I keep on swearing and stuff like that, buddy. Hey, Sparky, how are you? Are you burnt? Did you get burnt? I got burnt. I'm burnt like crazy, Spark. Hey, Baldy. Good one. Fucker. You could get you. You live close to me. I'm gonna get you. That's crazy. Caroline says, I saw a guy on YouTube using cinnamon, nutmeg, and paprika as weathering powders. Like the paprika would be like the red colors and the cinnamon would be the brown. Interesting. I don't know if I'd do it, but interesting nonetheless. Sparky's burnt. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I don't know if you can see it, but I've got the farmer's tan. I got home, I had 2 beers, and I went to bed, and I woke up hours later, and I was in pain. No, I haven't showed the model of my bridge, and yes, it's a good time to show a model of the bridge. So this is a model that I built with my son a couple of years ago, and it is a copy of Denfield Road Bridge in the London, Ontario area, and it's actually a combination of companies who've made this bridge, because this is the CP single track line that comes out. Right up the line, it's a double line that goes into a single under here, and this is the CN double main. And I think I'm going to put together a video tomorrow of all the trains that passed while we were watching yesterday. I think there was like 5 or 6 trains. And it was a great time. Thanks for coming out, Sparky. It was a ton of fun. Actually, it was a hell of a lot more fun than the last time we went. A lot less awkward. Trains. No more teasing. The teasing's done. Isn't that a fun thing? Yes, New Haven, you're so correct. You have to share. You know, and it's got to be your credo to share. I think it's kind of funny when people, there's an entire website out there that thinks I'm an egomaniac. I won't say their name, but the owner of the website said that he thinks that I've got a huge ego. And it's like, I just want to share. I just want to share what I'm doing. If I didn't share what I'm doing, I'd be a lone wolf in my shop here. I wouldn't share with anybody. And I think it's real easy to go on YouTube and do this stuff, and it's not anything about getting famous. I don't know. I think it's a representation. I think we are our own worst hypocrites at times. And I think that maybe that guy should probably take note of that statement. We are our own worst hypocrite. You hate me if you want. Yeah, your car was right there, And I'm gonna steal the keys from it. You city boy leaving your keys in the car. What the fuck are you doing? CB! You know a funny thing? Alright, I just took some brownie. CB, I want to hear your comment on Wellbomb because New Haven Rail, or Ron from New Haven Rails, he got Wellbomb too, and he said fast driving time and loves it. What do you think? Because I heard you got it too, or did I get that backwards? Yeah, it's very true, Patrick. You know, a compendium that went along with Dave Frary's book. You know, Dave Frary's book is out of date. Let's be honest with ourselves. It's like it was advanced modeling at its time, but at this time, it's beginning modeling. And it would be nice if he opened up to people who were able to, you know, collaborate and update that book. But then on the other hand, for building structures and stuff, you know, it'd be nice if all the greats could get together and write that book too. It wouldn't be me. I'm terrible at writing. I'm that guy who's writing so fast, I leave the most important word out of the sentence. I don't know why I do it. I've been doing it ever since I was a kid. And for that reason, I can't write. I can't. I'm just ding. Not that bright in that way. I'm looking at the little sound thing down there to see if you can hear my wife and my daughter in the bathroom. I don't know if I say that louder, they'll probably stop. So, let me refill this. It was fun hanging out with Sparky and Peter yesterday. I'm burnt all like my forehead. My only way of fighting sunburns is to put suntan lotion on so it doesn't tighten up and bubble on you. But thing is man, it hurts when I put the sunscreen on. It stings. It's bad. Well, that's an inappropriate question. Well, I don't think there's a problem with it. What's your name? Yeah, I don't know. I did an interview with an Iraqi. You know, I didn't call him any funny names. I don't think that there's a problem with that. I don't really like that. You gotta be careful of yourself because somebody's might come over there and moderate you. I'm a very open person. I'm not interested in that kind of drama because, you know, people get just like I said a few minutes ago. We are our own worst hypocrite. And in most of my experience, most of the people who say that, you know, other people are racist, just means that they're racist themselves. So, you cut that shit out or we'll kick your ass out. Then you call me racist all you want. Thanks. Oh, that's what that means, Sparky. Thank you. I didn't get it right away. I thought you meant your keys from your car. A little dumb. I was just a little dummy. Hey, Ron Brights has commented, say he's in for the chat. Ron, I got your clowns. They're over there at the circus. You never know what those clowns are doing, especially when they're getting into the car. You don't ever notice when they all get in the car, they all pop in, and they're in the middle of the ring, and then the smoke comes out the windows? What's going on there? What's going on there? So, Ron, I hope you like the Joshua Smith video. He's from Adelaide, South Australia. So I wonder if that's in your neck of the woods or not. The two Ronnies. Yeah, you got it. Only my mom calls me Ronnie, though. So let's keep this show on the road a bit. Let's pull out another model here and see if we got... Okay, I got another bridge to share. Now, this was a client project from 2009. That was being built, and he didn't pay for it, so I didn't get the model. Hi, John Dilly. Thanks for stopping by. we got some moderators, and we'll open it up if need be. And so, CB, when you get used to that drying time. That's why I'm sitting there always, coming right out of the cap. That's why I'm just popping it open and putting it on the applicator here. You know what the applicator is, right? You use that applicator too, right? So you just put it on the applicator, and then it's safe. Like, you might not do as much modeling as I do, but I imagine you do a lot, and that really saves it. So you get to use every bit of it, and you don't have so much. You don't have that big glue mound that builds up, and it's like, oh, I got a cool glue. Whatever. But super duper, isn't it? So when you do put out a little pile and use your micro applicator, you put much less out, because it will crust up on you pretty good, pretty fast. Yeah. Yeah, this is this was done late 2009, I think it was. It was the kind of project that took about a year to get put together, and Hey Joel, how are you doing? So this was the kind of project that took about a year to get put together, and I got the kit off of Zoomco, and wonderful kit. Comes with this road mat here, and it's extremely realistic. It's kind of vinyl, and then the bridge abutments and the bridge pieces are all pre-painted and weathered. And they're fantastically weathered. Zoomco really does make an awesome product. So, we got it all together, and the guy failed to make the first payment. And then he said he was going to wait a couple weeks, he was going to make the payment when he did this and that and the other thing. And then it was just like one story after another. And I built it to the point where I liked it, and I put it up in the rafters, and it's been there ever since. Because you got to pay to play if you're going to play this game, right? So, yeah, I've got the NJ International cross bucks on this one, and I have the little servos that are going to run it. But, you know, this is the kind of project that's going to go into the gallery, the model gallery thing. You know, I've always had this dream of doing a model gallery, even back in 2009. My original name for my company was called the Train Club Company. It was kind of a play on the Toronto Transit Commission, the TTC Co., the Train Club Company, so it would be TTC Co. But, you know, it really never went anywhere because I was making good money at the beginning, but the economy blew up. So, and, you know, the economy didn't really blow up in Canada, but Canada really relies on the economy of the United States to work on all cylinders. So, and that is especially true for people who work in custom model building, because I've only had about 2 or 3 clients in Canada, right? Sparky, right on. But the thing is you know, the Americans have the money that they can spend that you know, makes it worth your time, and Canadians really don't. We don't really have that kind of economy down up here. So I don't know where that went, but I went off topic there. Yeah, that's a good idea, Caroline. I've got children, so I like to use their toys packaging, because their packaging comes with a nice thin plastic that's, well, it's pliable. It doesn't really break so easy, and if you want to make it into a broken window and stuff, it's not fragile. It actually has a bit of tooth to it, so that, you know, when you cut it up, it doesn't deform so readily. And so I really like using the kids' packaging on their toys. You know, Buzz Lightyear. Hey Peter, how you doing? Thanks for stopping by. Because it's about your bedtime. It's all good if you take off. Thanks for stopping by. I heard you're burnt too. Sparky and Peter CP Rails went to the bridge and we did some rail fanning. So, the inside joke. Yeah, Sparky. Porno discs. They're tossing. Shut myself up with a pint, drink a beer. Yeah, it would look cool with some graffiti underneath it, wouldn't it? I've been thinking about graffiti on small scale models, and I'm thinking about using stencils and airbrushing them on, kind of like how Josh does that in real life on his murals. or Banksy does on his murals. I think that would be a great way to do these graffiti. So great idea. Thanks for pointing that out. I could get into doing that. Yeah, I'm gonna be I'm upping my game in HO scale. The next project that I'm doing is with some Chicago L bents. It's gonna be an elevated track and a city scene with some subway cars in the city. So I'm really going to try to go all out and make some assets for refuse and cardboard boxes so that we could print them out at the local laser printing shop and cut them out so they look just awesome, right? So that's going to take a little bit of work, and I need to have a project that has me primed and inspired to really want to do those extra assets. And after I'm done, the HO scale ones, I'll release those on the new website. Oh, by the way, www.modelersguild.com. I've got it opened up so people can see it and see if there's anything that's broken for them, or you can try to break it. I guess see what happens. I guess I should back it up. No, we didn't look very hard. We had things to do. Conversations to be had. Yes, I tried the LePage No Nails, and it's really good for foam. No More Nails. Yeah, I think it's called No More Nails. And actually, I've been using the LePage polyurethane foaming glue too, because it's just a wee bit cheaper than the Gorilla Glue polyurethane foaming glue. Now that stuff is a pain in the butt. It really sticks to stuff, and it's on there. But the thing is that when you're gluing foam to foam, this stuff is the best. When you're gluing glass to anything, this stuff's the best. So it's really got its purposes, and I like to have it around for my glue palette. I don't know what to say. Very true. Very true. More expensive here, Peter. Yes, I'm doing well, Joel. Thanks for stopping by. It's been a busy week. Otherwise, actually, I'm trying to not do too many live streams anymore because I started losing so many freaking subscribers. It was like, what's going on here? And I think it was because I was going live so many times. So I'm going live more often on twitch.tv. But actually, I broke a milestone today. Got 1,000 subscribers on the channel finally after a year and a half almost. So that's awesome. Actually, in Sparky 107 there, he's at just a couple away from 1,000 himself. So if you're not subscribed to Sparky, go subscribe to him. Pop him over 1,000. Say Ron did it for you. It's your turn to pay me back, Sparky. She means the one on the screen, Sparky. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I'm going to try this hot knife thing that you sent me that link of, Caroline. That's a great idea. And I never thought to look at Alibaba. Yeah, I believe they do. They sitting around there for a couple hours waiting for trains. You gotta wonder what they're doing in there. See, the thing about hand marking graffiti is it's really hard to get that flowing look that, you know, when your arm is outstretched and you're graffitiing with a spray can, it looks much different than when you're using a small pencil and trying to do that. So that's kind of why I want to try stencils. I try to maybe use my airbrush to do them in layers. Start at the back layers and move forward, kind of thing. I have to change the size of the text on this because it's really driving my eyes nuts. Thanks, John. You know, I thought it was gonna happen weeks ago, and I started this streaming thing to try to bump over 1,000, and it didn't work at all. I went down before I went up, but now we're there, and, you know, hey, Gary, thanks for subscribing. See that work? Woohoo! I wonder where that's coming from. I think he subscribed to JaSM there. Right on. Thank you, Gary Wise. Sparky 107 is Sparky's channel name. You'll make it there, Peter. It's a hard run. You gotta work kind of hard to get to that 1,000. You know, and after you get to 1,000, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't. You know, because you're still way behind the rest of them, so you just plug on other things. Yeah, Caroline, if you want to go, that's fine. I tried to do a live stream earlier in the day on Saturday, but I've also been toying with the idea of maybe doing it in Sunday in the morning, which would be perfect for UK time, and it would also be perfect for Sparky and Peter, who are local to me. So I gotta figure things out. I think Sunday night is a thing because it's really easy to get people to come on. So I might do a Sunday early show and maybe a Sunday evening show. I don't know if Saturday's really a good day to be doing streaming. Like, it really hasn't taken off like tonight's stream. I don't know if I'm going to get the crossing up and running. On this module here, yeah, exactly, Peter. Use the Cricut. See, I need to get the proper adhesive spray for the Cricut. Those mats, the adhesive spray only lasts for so long, and I gotta get the proper stuff because that's kind of holding me back right now from making good stencils. Otherwise, they move around on me, and I gotta have my hand on it and stuff. I kind of showed it in my last video about the Cricut. John Dilly says he's 964 people away from 1,000. I will forgive you, buddy. Don't worry about it. It's not about the subscribers. It's about the views. It is good. Patience is a virtue in this hobby. You gotta keep those kids busy there, Peter. Give them a little bit of an Xbox or something. You know, it doesn't matter. Like these, see, it doesn't matter what your subscriber count is at, because in our small hobby of model railroading, I gotta admit, I'm not connected with those guys, but you know, you'll find there's a group of guys who comment on everybody's channels, on everybody's videos, and I don't get that. I don't really care. Well, I do care. It hurts. Let me put a little tear in my beer. But you know, you get a group of guys who subscribe to you, and they all watch your stuff and comment on your channel, and you'll start growing. And you know, it's not about big numbers. It's about activity. It's about having that connection with other people. That's important in my mind. It was very nice to meet you, Caroline. I wasn't trying to kick you out. Your railroads is nice enough there, Ron, that you'll be gaining your subscribers. You just be consistent and putting your videos out like once a month or once a week, whatever you're comfortable with. And you'll constantly grow. You keep up with that nice modeling, and they'll keep on subscribing to you. Yeah, I'm gonna try to set the crossing up on that module. I want to learn how to. I don't know. Maybe you guys should come over and help me learn how to do it. I've got the tortoise machines, and I've also got servos, so I don't know which one's gonna be better. I've got lots of options. I think Peter would be able to figure it out for us. He's a little bit of a whiz. Well, then that means Peter, you need to get one of those little retro NES games. That's what I'm gonna get. I love the old Nintendo Entertainment System, and you can get one, and then the other one gets the Sega retro, so that they can't play together. And hide one controller from each. I'm trying, Patrick. I'm trying. I almost wasn't able to come on tonight because I had to go pick up my daughter, and everybody thinks that they don't think this is a serious thing, so I had to fight to be able to get here on time. And the more Patreon bucks that I get, the more they'll think it's serious. Yeah. I was saying that to Josh. Caroline says, just doing some sneaky ninja subscribing here. And when I was talking to Joshua Smith, I was saying I was going through his friend list like a creep to find other modelers. It's all good. It's all good in the hood. Yeah. You know, Peter, I'm not going to add a forum to the Modelers Guild website at all because I don't want to start a tribe. I want to, I want to be an open, inclusive kind of thing so that if other people come on over here, like, that Andy Crawford was coming over and stuff like that, I don't want to shut any doors on anybody, let anybody on or ask their questions and stuff like that. You know, and I don't want anybody to ignore anybody either. Oh, is he on? There he is. I just spoke his name. Your ears were ringing, Andy. I know it. You know, it's you know, if there's too many tribes out there, and I'm not saying that it happens in YouTube groups, kind of by saying Andy. I'm saying that, you know, these forums, you go into there and try to share your stuff, and if you don't spend 6 months kissing ass, you ain't nobody. So I don't want to be a part of that in any way whatsoever. You know, I want to have everything inclusive. So the Modelers Guild website will never have a forum. It does have commenting, and I think that's important, but never a forum. I got some servos, Peter, that you can test out if you want. Next time you come down, remind me and I'll set you up with those servos. I get that now, Billy. Andy is here. He was his ears were ringing. That's why he came on. I was about to say his name. I don't know anybody else's name over there, Andy, so don't think I was picking on you. Well, I do know other. I was gonna shut my mouth. So, yeah, I think I'm going to be going to do that large scale model, the F scale WX tower. I think one of my first plans is to size out and try to build the switching arms in 1/2/4 scale, and you know, I don't know. Let's get back to see what Andy said. Sure, we're a small community. We should all be about bringing modelers together instead of separating and judging. There's enough of that going on in the rest of the world. You're damn right, buddy. I want to do the WX tower, get those switches, the switch control arms, and try to make one, and, you know, just try to get the proportions right. And once I get it down pat, I'm going to start and do the interior of that WX tower. Let me put it on the table here so people can see it who just jumped into the call. That's a scratch-built WX tower that I built in 2008, 2009. Full interior. Plastic windows. I could have put glass windows in there, but I don't think I had the glass windows at that time. Yeah. I hope you watched my latest video there, Andy. A lot of great tips from Large Scale Modeler. And I think that's why I want to do this big model here. Just to, you know, I want to make a couple of cigarette packs. Some players special. No, it is the WX tower in St. Catharines. But they're almost looked exactly the same, and I got plans for them back then. So I built this from plans. But it's all scratch built. Every window, it's all scale wood, every piece of it. The door and everything else. See you later, Billy. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, that's all balsa wood from Mount Albert. You know, I really liked what you did with your laser cutter and etching that wood sign. That was wonderful, Ron. It looks great. What's up, the old lady who probably compliments you on? That's a feat. That's an accomplishment there, man. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah. Is it yours is probably HO scale. This one's 1-2-4 scale and F scale, which is, you know, something I think I'm gonna try a couple of large scale models to, you know, try to think outside the box. Try to learn some new stuff. Is quarter scale O scale? I wonder if I think I remember quarter scale being O scale. I don't know. Yeah. That's what I'm talking. That's what I'm talking about. I just want to say cheers to everybody. If you like what you see on these shows, I'm really getting pounded by work, but and making these interview videos. But you know, it all helps out when there's a little bit of a contribution that comes my way. I'm a one-man show. No matter how hard I try to get people to come in and be a part of it, it's one-man show. Well, it's cool. You know, I like the fact that people are here subscribing to other people's channels, and they're doing that back and forth. That's kick-ass. That's kick-ass. I'll say it again. That's kick-ass. You know, that's what this hobby's about. Thank you for doing that. Thank you for subscribing to Peter's channel, Ron Brights and Sparky 107. All, you know, that's what it's all about. You know, forget about I just want my feed to be clean with people I like. I don't know what it is. But, you know, 60% of my viewers are unsubscribed. What's that all about? What did Dave say? Yeah, that's weird, isn't it, Andy? I've got 2 or 3 dimensional cards. 2 of them from Campbell Scale Models, 1 of them from the Scale Card Co. And you know, it's interesting to look at what the dimensions are in HO scale, but there's no rhyme or reason to it, really. You're right. I look forward to seeing those on Facebook, Ron. I follow your work. Yeah, Shinichi Matsupa's work is amazing, and I found that out through Hank Chang's work. And it's just amazing what these guys are doing, like, from Japan. I love it. And actually, I was thinking about doing the whole Google car thing to try to figure out a structure to do from scratch before I started thinking about rebuilding this one. And then I thought, well, I should start doing this one first before I start doing any of that. But I want to find a place to start doing something like that. And Caroline reminded me of the Chernobyl area where they have that the carnival that's like rotten into the ground. I was thinking maybe I want to do the bumper cars ride. Yeah, we're going to check out Pat's layout sometime soon. I look forward to it, Sparky. I look forward to it. I got a tarred feather, you. I was. You know, the problem, Joel, is I'm not good with numbers. You want me to start now, Hoff? Yeah, Pipiat. I can't say it without the accent. And the funny thing is that I'm sponsored by Helicon Focus, and they are located just a few miles from there. Helicon Focus is in the Ukraine. Yeah, that would be interesting, Joelle. Very interesting, actually, yeah. I was drunk, Peter. That's all we need to say. I was drunk, giggling too much. Got his name wrong. Yes, it is the size of my building, yeah. Yeah, though the bumper cars at Pipiat, what I'm interested in doing is making one master and then taking them over to my buddy Claire's at Sylvan Scale Models and have him make a couple of molds for me so that I could make a bunch of them like that, and then maybe have him teach me a little bit about mold making process and what's good and what's not. Well, I know you know that I know that you know that you know that I know. And I could do this for 3 hours and get wasted on this stuff. Well, it's not going to happen tonight because I'm burnt and it hurts. It hurts. This hurts. So I think I'm going to lather myself up in some kind of lotion. Make it make a day of it. Be done with it. Be done with it. I want to thank Joelle. Yeah, working bump. It's possible now. It's totally possible now with those little remote control cars that Ken Patterson's buddy's doing, and also the Faller car system. Could totally do that stuff. So I want to thank Joelle. I want to thank Peter. I want to thank Dave. I want to thank Caroline, Mr. Dilly, Ron Brights, New Haven Rails, Charles, CB. Who else do we got? We had Andy Crawford. Thanks, Andy. Thanks for making the rounds. I think we had another person in. It was Jonathan from Bakersfield, California. His name was, he had a weird name. He had not a weird name, but it was a YouTube name. They're all weird. Just don't hurt me. Don't hate me for it. John Dilly, that's your name, John Dilly. Anyways, I got his real name. I think I got everybody. And Gary Wise is watching too, I think, because he subscribed during the show. That's the funny thing here, because if you subscribe to the Just Another Scale Modeler channel, you'll get a little bit of a heads up on the stream itself, and everybody can see that you did it. And then they can point their finger at you and laugh. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. They'll say, you're just as cool as everybody else now. Yeah, I do got a big screen TV in here. I need more room is what I need. If I had more room, like if I had the Ken Patterson basement, man, I'd be styled up. I'd have hardwood everywhere. Ugh, you're lucky, Joelle. You know, actually, Joelle, I have a great grandma who's native Indian, and I never got any of that. Not one bit. So, let's just do it, because I don't know what to say anymore. I don't like to hear the crickets chirp either. So we're going to have, this week, I'm going to be getting, I think I'm getting a package from our home in miniature land to start planning my first scratch build for the Great Big Layout. If you haven't seen that video, go check it out on the channel. It's an extensive layout, multi-million-dollar layout that I'll be building models for pretty soon, which is very exciting for me. I also interviewed Hank Cheng last week and Joshua Smith this week. Please check those videos out, because you're going to find out some stuff that you never really thought of before. And those guys are thinking outside the box, I'm telling you. If you like these shows, please consider contributing to Patreon. It could be $1 a month. And if you just put in $1, it'll be $4 a month, because I only charge for 4 videos each month. So if you put in $1, I'm only going to charge for 4 videos, so it'll be $4. If you can afford $4 and you think it's worth it to contribute to a show like this, to a nut bar like me, please do so. Also, the last thing is modelersguild.com/HF. Helicon Focus is a piece of software that'll help you make beautiful photographs. And if it doesn't help you, I'll help you. I'll help you in the end. It's got to help you. You know what, Peter? Yeah, you're right. If I had a hat on my head, it would have worked. But I was thinking that I was shining it back at the sun. Fighting the sun. It's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Yeah, thanks, Sparky. Every bit helps. There's a number of people in the call tonight who are supporters. Joelle, Sparky, Ron Brights. I gotta stop doing that, because I forget a few people, and that's bad news, bears. So with that, thanks for the support. I'm gonna say good night, my friends. Thanks for watching. I don't know what to do in this spot. Maybe I'll just go like this. Then you can't see what I'm looking at. I gotta wait till the stream catches up to the thing.